LadyChann. Fight.
Yo, hey girl, it's LadyChann rep nonetheless, and welcome to the weekly wrap-up show. I hope you guys have missed me as much as I've missed you. A girl was down with the flizzy flu. Oh my God, yeah, that started to set in while we was doing the Fury Wilder watch along. Just a few days before that, but it really hit home that morning. So so we're gonna have a panel and we're gonna be chopping it up it's gonna be about an hour and 20 minutes and we're done. So I'm gonna start introducing who we need to introduce. So hang on one sec. I'm introducing Introducing Coach Malachi, New Media Today, USA.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, what's happening?
Let me get all the introductions in. So, because I know you've got limited time. My bad, I was a bit late. So let me just get everyone in and then we can chop it up and we'll do the proper hellos. I'm introducing John Dillian. Ding, 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 ding. What's up, John? I got to carry on with the introductions. Yes, I'm introducing Fit to Box Boxing Channel. What's up? One more introduction. Introducing one of my favorite people, Kenny in the building. Yes, guys, we are here. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Patience is a virtue, and you lot have all got patience of a saint to be even my mates. So, you know, fair play to you guys. It says more about you than me. Thank you. What's up? What's up, Chucks? Kenny, I can't hear ya.
I haven't said anything, that's why.
Oh, sorry. Now I can hear ya. What's up?
Before I start,
yeah,
I feel vindicated because I've been in panels with all of you guys, and I was told that Deontay Wilder didn't have fundamentals, he didn't have a heart, and he wasn't one of the top heavyweights. I feel vindicated because we've been proved that Deontay Wilder is up there with the top heavyweights in the world, and that any other fighter that he fought, other than the Gypsy King, he would have knocked into the middle of next week.
Yeah,
I'll leave it with that.
Yeah, he got knocked into the middle of next week with him.
Ooh.
He was out. He was out like a light in the end. We're going to discuss this. Let me just get myself on the TVs over here just so can see what's going on. I ain't turned on that lappy. So, guys, let's talk. So, all right. So let's start with Coach Malachi because he literally only has 10 minutes. So Mal, we did the group watch along. We did the block party.
We did. Yeah, we did. Yeah,
it was sick. Thanks a lot for that. It was epic. We got a lot of views for that, like literally over 2,500 views. And we had fun. Mal held down the fort because he knew his hermana, Jace, was definitely coming down with the flu.
Yeah, that's when you was coming down. He was like, I think he was fighting it at the time.
Yeah,
he was fighting.
Really sick, man. Took me out for 10 days, mate. 10 days, nearly 2 weeks. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I missed everyone, but you know, I was coughing, sneezing, everything. Still got this dull headache, a bit of a sore throat, but you know, we plod on. So Mal, talk to me about your show was sick because you was talking about Chinny. Let's talk about this Chinny thing about AJ being chinny. Like, can I just run down the stats of the top 3? We'll just say Fury, Wilder, AJ in no order, whatever order. The top 3, everybody says that AJ is chinny. Can I give you the stats? So Tyson Fury has been dropped 6 times by 3 different opponents, right? Wilder has been knocked down 9 times by 3 different opponents. Anthony Joshua has been dropped and Wilder's been KO'd. Anthony Joshua has been dropped 5 times by 2 different opponents. So who's chinny? You tell me now.
Again, the chinny thing is, and this is what I was pointing out today. Like I was talking about, it's Wilder's chinny because he's been, you know, and this is the problem that I have with that. I understand what chinny's supposed to mean, meaning that a fighter punch resistant is not that well. Mira Khan, he has a glass jaw chin, he gets knocked out easily. He got knocked out to Canelo, but goddamn, he got knocked out to Canelo. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's no shame in that. But I get what they're saying, right? They're saying Joshua's chinny. Joshua's never been knocked out. He's never been put to sleep. Every fighter gets hurt. Muhammad Ali got dropped. Mike Tyson been dropped. Lennox Lewis been knocked out. So I mean, when they say chinny, it seems like depending on who you talk to, when it's their fighter that they love, he's not chinny. He's a warrior. But he did the exact same thing this guy did. You know, he wobbled. Yeah, but he showed heart and courage. But then when it's the other fighter that got wobbled, oh, he's chinny. You see what I'm saying? Not only that, to take it a step further, Wilder got knocked out by a guy who he said was pillow fist. That everyone was saying couldn't punch. Except for me. Well, I ain't gonna say everyone, but I always said that you're not gonna tell me a guy 6'9", 270-something pounds can't punch. You know, he just have to sit on his punches. I always said that, but so it's chinny is subjective to the individual. If they like a fighter, they're going to say that their fighter is a warrior. He's not chinny if he gets hurt, dropped, or knocked out. If it's a fighter they don't like, they're going to say that he's chinny, and that's just what it is to me.
Right. So with those stats, are they all chinny, or is there the top chinny one?
Well, you can say all of them chinny, for argument's sake. I mean, some people disagree with that, but I'm like, damn, you know, if one fighter getting knocked out by he fought a guy 3 times, he can't beat him, got knocked out and stopped. Another guy, AJ got TKO'd and he lost to a 12-round decision to Usyk. And with Tyson Fury been dropped several times. Yeah. I think some was by body shots, some was by whatever. But some people would say
on the chin.
Some people would say that, hey man, listen, Wilder Fury is not really not chinny because Fury has a hell of a recovery time, right? So that's he recovers faster than a Wilder or an Anthony Joshua.
But he's still chinny.
You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying.
He recovers fast, but he's chinny then.
Chinny is subjective. This is what I'm saying. It's subjective to the individual. So
that was my whole point. Yeah, I know. That's what I loved about.
Can I interject on this?
Of course you can.
We're talking about heavyweights.
Right.
So it's a whole different scale. If these guys were welterweights getting dropped like this, then yeah, they're chinny. The whole point of the heavyweight division is everyone can knock everyone out. That's why it's the glamour division. So none of them are chinny because they get hit by heavyweights and they fight on.
Right.
I don't like Wilder, but you can't really call someone who can take heavyweight punches chinny because they wouldn't last. They wouldn't make it anywhere. They get blown away.
But we can have comparisons. Joe Joyce is yet to be deemed as chinny.
Yeah, but who's the biggest puncher he's faced? Dubois. True. And he came up with a game plan to avoid the right hand because he knew it wasn't a good idea to eat it.
Right.
So he's smart, and some people have better chins than others. But I mean, I think the only person we can say there's probably about 2 people with iron chins in the heavyweight division's history: Oliver McCall and George Chevalier. Everybody else has been dropped.
Wow. Yeah. So everyone's been dropped.
It's irrelevant in heavyweight boxing.
Yeah. So this is what we're trying to debunk, this chinny rubbish. If you're going to say someone's chinny, they're all chinny because I've just given you the stats. Numbers don't lie. So you can't just pick AJ's chinny or you can't just pick Wilder's chinny. They're all chinny then. But like you said, it's heavyweight boxing. People get dropped, you know?
I'd say the reverse, LadyChann. I'd say none of them are chinny.
Yeah. None of them.
None of them, including Wilder. Who is my least favorite out of this lineup. Yeah, I'd say ultimately to make it against any top heavyweight and to see a final belt, you're not chinny. So
Right. So yeah, great.
Not only
Go
that,
ahead
what
now.
about the brother? Who that was? That Lennox Lewis fought was the Marine. That dude had a chin like a brick.
Isn't that
Ray Mercer. Ray Mercer.
Oh, Ray Mercer.
Forget about Ray Mercer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ray Mercer been knocked out. He's been
no, hell
out,
no. No, hell
No,
no.
he could take a punch. He could take a punch. So no.
Yeah. Just people take.
Do you remember his fight with
was
it Mercer and Lennox Lewis back in the day?
Yeah, Lennox Lewis caught him with some uppercuts and he ate him and kept coming. He gave Lennox Lewis hell. Some people thought Lennox.
That's 97. They fought in 97. Was it 96? No, 96.
I've seen Ruttman's been KO'd. He's former undisputed 2-time heavyweight champion. He's been knocked out. So it doesn't take anything away from him, does it?
Joe Louis got completely knocked out, went on to have 25 title defenses.
Yeah.
Is it really that important in the heavyweight division?
No, this is what I'm saying. But if we're gonna do the na, I'm gonna do that at Wilder then. You got knocked out.
It's not in all divisions because remember, people say Carl Froch has been put on his ass, Joe Kazaki has been put down. You know what I mean? George Gross has been put down, James the Girl's been put down. Yeah. And, a lot of good, Tommy Ernst, they used to say he was chinny.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They used
to say Mike Breen was chinny as well.
Chinny too,
there's a catalogue of fighters who've been put on
I think the lighter you go, the better the argument, because just by nature of physics, the smaller fighters just cannot hit with the
generate
same
less power. Right.
Once you get to about 200 pounds, you can probably.
Then it's chinny. We've got Tony's review here. Hi Tony, thanks for joining. You should have been on camera. Why weren't you on camera?
You want me to
get on? What you look like now. It's amazing. Your voice don't match your face. Look, you don't know what to say. I've seen what he looks like now. He did a live, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Tony!" Because I've never seen him on camera before, but he did a live. And you know when you make a mental picture of someone by their voice, and then you see their face, and it's like totally the opposite. That's what it was. So there you are. Yay! See, Tony's review. So who wants to go next with this hair on my chinny chin bollocks? Go ahead.
But we're gonna be off camera. Chinny chin. So I don't know. Like my definition of chinny chin is a little bit different than probably everybody on here, because I think there's a big difference in between somebody being chinny and somebody having a glass jaw. Now I do believe AJ is very chinny, and I say that because people to me that are chinny is how they react after they're hurt. Do they fight back? Do they shell up and just take damage? And AJ fills that bucket. Like he just shells up. He doesn't fire back. And it's a lot of the times why he gets in trouble, because he acts like he doesn't know what to do when he's hurt. That to me is chinny. Now, he by no stretch has a glass jaw, because he doesn't go down. He just gets knocked around. I mean, he has been knocked down, but normally he just gets knocked around. Whenever the other guy quits firing, then he reattacks. But there's a break in his activity. So I would say he's chinny, but he doesn't have a glass jaw just because he doesn't fight back.
I would say he's not even chinny, like what we've just said. Yeah,
what about Frank Bruno? People say about Big Frank, innit? But Big Frank, back in the day in the 1980s,
he was a wobbler, wasn't he?
Yeah, but the only person, the only time he went down was really Bone Crusher, wasn't it? But Tim Witherspoon, the tail went in the 11th round in 86 with Tim Witherspoon, and then Mike Tyson in 89 and 96, both times the tail went in. And he's the sort of person, like, he gets hit hard and that's it. The hands go down, he doesn't react. Any time he reacted, I remember was with a guy called Jumbo Cummings, way back, talking about nearly 40 years ago. But apart from that, you say, AJ, you say that he didn't react well, but in the epic fight at Wembley, he did react well when he got beaten up in the 6th round by Klitschko, regardless of whether what age Klitschko was at the time, 40, 41. He's still a great fighter, and he performed admirably well for his age in that fight. And he could have, against any other opponent, walked away with his titles back. So, you're all right. Yeah, Dave, as Paul Scrap Ryan used to say back in the 90s, is that lightweight fighter, Chin's not made to take punches. And I think, you know, when you say about someone getting chin, of course, if you hit someone right and you time it, they're going down. You know, whether they get up is subjective.
Right.
I think Bruno was different because Bruno used to get hit and almost like he'd been switched off.
Yeah.
Whereas these guys now, they're able to get up. Whereas Bruno was sort of, you know, his arms went down and it was lights out for him, really, especially against Jumbo Cummings. It was like somebody had just pulled the plug on him. I think the ref held him up at one point for that fight.
But he came out and won the fight, though. He came.
Oh, yeah.
The thing with Frank is exactly what Tony describes. When he got hit, he froze. He didn't have good, what I call survival instincts. He didn't know how to hold on. If Frank knew how to hold when he got hurt, he could have probably beaten Lennox. Because he hurt Lennox in about the 5th round. Lennox held on and got through the round. When Frank gets hit, does exactly what you're saying. He drops his hands and just took punishment until the ref stops it. He was stopped on his feet. He didn't actually go down. And that's common with Frank. His legs were good. His reactions were horrible.
So bone crusher, wasn't it, mate? Bone crusher. You know, when he
same thing.
So what would you say, AJ?
Oh, how's everybody doing? First things first.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
I see you sporting the Dundam Season T-shirt. Dundam Season in the building. Yes, crew. Thank you for purchasing. Looks really nice.
Thank you.
And this is the first time I've seen you as well. Thank you. What do you think about this chinny business?
Chinny, it's a wide definition for me. What I think it really, because I've had, you know, I've given it actually some thought to really think about it, and I think chinny means that somebody who can't, it's not necessarily somebody who gets dropped. Let's say if somebody who's dropped is who could just really respond well to a punch. You know what I mean? I mean, if somebody is dropped, like how they respond to it, or like what somebody say is hit. If somebody is hit very hard, and you know, and let's just say they get dropped, how they respond to that is whether or not defines whether or not they're chinny. Like if they could just take a really good punch to the head or to the chin, and if it doesn't phase them, okay, then I could say that person isn't chinny. But if they can't, regardless of whether they're dropped or not, then I think it's safe to say that that person is chinny. Because Tyson Fury, honestly, I don't think he's very. I mean, like you guys may say, I don't think he's chinny because every time he's been dropped, he's gotten up and continued to fight like nothing's wrong.
Thanks,
like
Malachi. Sorry, Malachi to go. Thank you. I know it was a quick one. Thanks. Salute for coming on, and I'll speak to you later.
All right, coach.
All right. Salute, guys. I got an engagement. All right, take it easy, guys. I'll be listening.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, just to continue, just my point is like if something like Tyson Fury, every time he's been dropped and put down, he's always got up like and continued to fight like nothing happened to him. Every time he's been dropped, like he's continued to fight like he hasn't been hurt. So I think his recuperative abilities are very, very I mean, they're beyond normal. So
is chinny to do with punch resistance, or is it being knocked down?
It's just punch resistance for me, really.
See, everyone's got different criteria.
It's a wide definition.
I thought chinny was that, you know, you get punched. There's a lot of fighters that get tapped and they go down. It's you're talking about punch resistance. Because
another good example is when Eubank Sr. fought Michael Watson. When Michael Watson put him down, I think in the 11th round, he got up and dropped Michael Watson like 5 seconds later when the fight continued, remember? With an uppercut.
Yep. So, yeah.
And unfortunately, that marred the fight because he got, you know, seriously injured after that. And, God bless him. I mean, it was unfortunate that happened, but, you know, Eubank Sr., he had a granted chin. He's been dropped. He got Kazaki put him down in their first round, and he got up like he was fine afterwards. So you know,
and I don't think it's so much to do with the punch resistance, in my opinion. It is my definition is how they react after their hit. Like if you go to Deontay Wilder, if he's going to be a threshold, I would say he's less chinny than AJ, because if you just take the round before he got knocked out, the 10th round when he fought Tyson Fury, right? He got dropped. However, after he got dropped, he got back up and damn near dropped Fury at the end of the 10th round. Like he had him wobbled at the end of the round, and he had already been dropped.
Okay, so didn't AJ get back up every single time he's been dropped?
Tony, I've got a question as well.
What I'm saying is it's not just.
Can I ask you a question about that, Tony?
Hold on.
Who's the bigger puncher?
Hold on. Let me finish the statement. Hold on. It's not the fact that they both get back up. It's the fact that even when Wilder was getting beat up, as sloppy as it looks, he's trying to throw back. If he gets knocked down, he gets up and he immediately goes back for action. No matter how smart or dumb it is, he's always trying to fight back, whereas AJ just turtle shells. That to me is chinny.
Yeah.
So Tony,
go ahead.
Who's the bigger puncher, Vladimir Klitschko, and taking a perfect right hand down the pipe from Vladimir Klitschko, or getting hit by Tyson Fury? Who's the bigger puncher?
I don't know, because Vladimir couldn't drop on Fury. Wilder dropped him.
He didn't hit him though, did he? That's disingenuous. How many top 10 heavyweights has Vladimir Klitschko knocked out?
Right, let's keep it
Who left?
fair. Who would you say is a harder hitting puncher?
He's got a point. My man's got a point. He never hit Fury clean in that fight. So
yeah. So who would you think hits harder, Klitschko or Tyson Fury?
Klitschko.
I know who I'm saying. And it's a fact.
Me,
so if you get dropped by Klitschko, and then you get back up, but you get dropped by pillow fist, and then you get repeatedly dropped, and then you get knocked out, who's chinny? I'll wait.
Yeah, but the problem is, it's disingenuous when people run with that furious pillow fist.
It's facts.
No. His record.
No. It's not a fact that he's pillow fisted, but this is what people like to do. Like what Mal said. Everybody, Wilder himself said that Fury was pillow fisted. So you got knocked out by the pillow fister.
Right.
Obviously, to a degree, you're 6'9". You're 6'9", 277 pounds. Obviously, you've got some form of power, but his ratio of he's at like a 68% knockout ratio. So he's not one of the hardest hitting heavyweights, is he? So what I'm saying is, who's chinny?
Yeah, but his ratio was very misleading though, because he's had 10 fights where he didn't knock. Hold on, let me say this real fast. I might be like, but
yeah, a bit lagging.
He had 10 fights where he didn't get knockouts. However, 4 of those fights were rematches, and in every single rematch, he's knocked out every single person he's rematched. So truth be told, his knockout percentage should be a lot higher because only 7 people have survived him. And that's just because he never rematched him.
But again, that's a bit convenient because you're using the argument that Klitschko couldn't knock out Fury, but Fury fought a long fight and avoided.
So that means Fury's a harder hitting puncher than Klitschko. No, it doesn't work like that.
I'm not.
You've also got to look at the aesthetic of the fight. Like Fury did not engage with Vlad for a reason
at all. That's why we went.
He's quite happy to engage with Deontay Wilder, but he's not happy to engage with Vlad. Why do you think that was?
Well, he did not engage with Wilder in the first fight, and he still got his ass dropped twice. So he fought Wilder.
That might have had something to do with the difference.
With the layoff.
Listen,
I mean, let's be honest.
The
Tyson
first fight
was in the best shape of his life.
Had with Wilder, he tried to fight Wilder like he did Klitschko, except he got dropped twice.
So imagine if he had fought Klitschko, how he fought Wilder then. Imagine if he would have engaged with Klitschko.
Oh yeah, that would have made a much more entertaining fight. That would have made a much more entertaining fight.
He was nearly 3 years out the ring, coming off 200 pounds, losing that weight. It was the worst Tyson Fury. And he got dropped. Okay, cool.
As opposed to taking Nandrolone earlier in the year, fighting Hamer 6 months before.
Yeah,
being in the best shape of his life. There's a bit of a difference.
Definitely. What would you guys want to rebut on that?
Well, I mean, I just like to add that in the first Wilder fight, he was 60%. Fury was. I think we could all agree on that. But in the rematch and the third fight, he had completely revamped himself into a different fighter. You know, Tyson, he was more aggressive, and you know he had more punching power because he obviously hurt Wilder and knocked him out in the third. And I think his Fury's trainer Sugar Hill Stewart was saying like, yeah, he's got one punch knockout power. That's what he kept saying.
Which he has.
I mean, after like the third fight, he was saying, oh, yep, one punch knockout power.
But he didn't knock him out with one punch. But anyway,
With Wilder? I mean, well, not in the third fight. In the third fight, when he fought, when Fury finally knocked Wilder out.
It actually took him longer to knock Wilder out in the third.
No longer. I mean, just the one punch he finally caught him with. That's all. Like, you know, it took him longer.
Yeah, but it's not one punch knockout.
What about the
Wilder has one punch knockout. Yeah, Wilder has a one punch knockout. Fury doesn't. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say, it's subjective. People are using this chinny business.
The thing with Fury, though, is that, you know, since he was with Sugar Hill, one of the things they always talking about is Tyson using all of his like 6'9", 20 stone, and planting his feet. You know what I mean? And since he's planting his feet, especially in the second, third fight, that's where he's getting his power from. Because, you know, Tyson Fury was in effect, he was like a fencer, you know, who would basically throw the odd right hand and then sit on top of you to weigh you down. But this time, you know, Sugar Hill's got him fighting like a Kronk fighter, where basically it's plant your feet, but I want everything into that punch, throw everything into those punches, because you've got a natural speed for your jab, which goes boom and comes back, and your right hand goes boom and comes back. But he wants you to do the impossible, which is plant your feet, get your feet down, and go boom and come back. And that's what Tyson Fury's done different in the last two fights. It's like bang. Yeah.
Kenny, I always say power is subjective. You can gauge it because there's not a power gauge.
I think I disagree with you. Some fighters have natural power, and some fighters you're born with. But I think with heavyweight fighters like Fury, he has to work on it. And the way you work on it is planting your feet. And I think Joe Joyce is like that. When he starts planting his feet, he's going to generate power, but he hasn't got he isn't a natural power like Danny Dubois and Deontay and Anthony Joshua to a certain extent. It's something
but what I'm saying is, power is still subjective to the opponent that you're facing. At the end of the day, if you are facing 40 part-time boxers that really don't box a lot and they've got a job where they're an Uber driver, obviously their punch resistance is feeble. So you look amazing knocking those types of people out. But when you are knocked out by someone that's deemed as a hard hitter, i.e. a Vladimir Klitschko, i.e. a George Foreman, i.e. Muhammad Ali was in the cumulative.
Scotty Liston, Ernie Shavers, Joe Lewis.
Then we can gauge, like, if you're chinny or if your punch resistance is decent. If you get knocked down by those types of people, or you knock down those people, who has more power? It's subjective. In my opinion, Deontay Wilder having this title as the hardest hitting heavyweight in heavyweight history is bollocks. I know a 70-odd-year-old George Foreman is still powerful more than Deontay Wilder now. Please, miss me. If you think Deontay Wilder is more powerful than George Foreman in the history of heavyweight boxing, everyone's having a bubble, mate.
Okay. Well, I'll agree with you on that.
If Wilder hit so hard, how come the first time he really steps up in opposition was Bermain Stavern in his first title fight? Goes 12 rounds. If you look at the people that he was knocking out, like the fighter immediately before he fought Bermain Stavern is bloody Jason Gavin. Joshua knocked Jason Gavin out quicker than Wilder did. If you go through all those people that he knocked out in that run up to when he fights Bermain Stavern, they're so lowly ranked, it's outrageous. A lot of them were not career heavyweights.
No.
And actually, a lot of it, you got to lay the blame at the door of Oscar De La Hoya, because when he was with Golden Boy, he intentionally matched him against poor opposition to create a knockout hype, and he did exactly the same thing with Luis Ortiz at Golden Boy. And if you look at when he was fighting cruiserweights and lighter fighters, a lot of it was when Oscar was managing him to create a false impression of someone whose power is better than it is. But against the three top 10, genuine top 10 fighters that Deontay Wilder's fought, it's Bermain Stavern the first time, Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury. He's only knocked out Luis Ortiz. I'm not having Bermain Stavern as a top 10 heavyweight the second time. He's out of the ring for 2 years, completely blew up in weight. Fights Tyson Fury. Okay, he drops him, but he can't get him out. It's a bit like Triple G. Triple G is feasting on this poor opposition. As soon as he fights Danny Jacobs, he can put him down, but he can't knock him out.
Yeah, so how powerful are you? How is he deemed the most powerful heavyweight in heavyweight history? Heavyweight history, you know.
I mean, I don't agree with him being the most powerfulest puncher. I don't know how hard he actually hits. I say he has decent power, judging off the eye test of how
He has
hits
good
guys.
power.
But as far as chins go, not talking about his power, I have to ask myself though, do I believe AJ could get beat as bad as he was getting beat for 11 rounds straight, and AJ is going to make it to the 11th round? I do not believe he would. I believe AJ would have been out of there within the first 5 or 6 rounds if he was getting beat up that badly. I don't think he'd go.
How about AJ would have got the opponent out? How about AJ would have got him out so he wouldn't have to have dragged that long? How about that?
No, I'm not saying AJ could not beat Tyson Fury. What I'm saying is, if he was on the losing end, getting beat up that bad by Tyson Fury, I don't believe AJ makes it 11 rounds.
But Tony, the only time we've seen AJ getting beaten up like that, he finished the fight on his feet and the ref stopped it.
Every single time.
It's happened once, and
so fair to say, he wanted to continue
every single time, and the referee decided to stop it, probably correctly as well. But
which was correctly.
Yeah, AJ didn't want to be part of that fight, though.
I don't know. It's just
whether everybody thinks that AJ didn't want to be a part of that fight, like we will never know that, really, will we? No. But at the end of the day, he finished on his feet. It was quite rightly waved off because he was buzzed, and he got hit with an equilibrium shot and still got up every single time. Like, so he's never been KO'd in his short career, but he's chinny. But the other top 2 best heavyweights, one hasn't been KO'd, but he's been dropped a total of more times than AJ, and by lesser opponents. Steve Cunningham is definitely a lesser opponent. If you're going to say AJ got beat up by a cruiserweight, did he get dropped? Did he nearly get dropped? Maybe, possibly, but he lasted the 12 rounds. Did Tyson Fury get dropped by? You got to use the same. If it's 1 for 1, it's 1 for all, mate. So if AJ got dropped by Usyk, we never hear the end of it. Fury got dropped by a cruiserweight. Everybody forgets it, because he won, but he still got dropped by a man that was about 50 pounds less than him.
Yeah, but
where are we going? So
the thing with chinniness is that I always say it. I don't care who you are as a boxer, how good you are, how good your opponent is. The hardest thing in boxing to do, after the hardest things you can do in boxing is be able to put someone on his ass and keep him there, because it's all about timing. Don't care who you are. If someone times a punch. It doesn't have to be a big puncher. If he times it, you're down. You're on your ass. You know what I mean? And they all say a good boxer will beat a big hitter, because a good boxer is all about. First he will outbox you, but what will happen is that he weighs you down, and when your hands are down, you make mistakes and you square on. Then he's gonna get his power and knock you out. Like AJ when he fought Usyk, he was square on. He was destined to be knocked out. He's up. AJ's an upright fighter. When you're upright fighters, I don't like upright fighters, because when you're upright fighters, you're like that. You just
you're standing on the line. But my whole point is that you got to keep the same energy for everyone. When it's AJ, it's the worst thing that's happened. When it's Tyson Fury, it's the best thing since fucking sliced bread. When it's Deontay Wilder, he's a warrior. But AJ's a prick. They're the best things. What I'm not going to do is not have that on my watch, because as much as I like Deontay Wilder, as much as I don't like Deontay Wilder, he had a lot of heart. And I said that on my live straight away. You can see it on my live. I said, nobody disrespect. Let me just say, that was an amazing performance. He showed fucking heart. I was impressed. But I'm still going to tell you the facts. He got dropped multiple times in these last 2 fights, and he got knocked clean out by a guy that is not notoriously known as a big puncher.
Doesn't have to be a big puncher.
Dropped
it doesn't have to be a big puncher, lady. If he times it, then it's fine. It doesn't have to be a big puncher.
Yeah, but
a big puncher doesn't have to knock you out. It's timing.
I agree. I agree. But what I'm trying to say is, when we know this, so we're not looking down on it, because we know how it goes. You can accumulate a load of punches and then you're down by anyone, right? But what I'm saying is, how comes when Tyson Fury got dropped by a cruiserweight, he's not an idiot. AJ didn't get dropped by a cruiserweight, lasted the whole 12 rounds, but there's massive chin problems with him. Got dropped by Klitschko, hang on, let me finish. Got dropped by Klitschko, got the stoppage on Klitschko in impressive fashion. Then let me tell you, when he faced Alexander Povetkin, you know, he fought with glandular fever and he beat him. So who really is
the other thing I want to point out, LadyChann, is in that
just
first
keep the
round,
same energy is all I'm asking.
in the first round against Povetkin unloaded the same combination on AJ, but put away Dillian White.
Yeah.
And David Price. And AJ
and David Price.
But he didn't go down.
And he was sick, didn't go down. And I'm sure Povetkin is a harder hitting puncher than Tyson Fury.
Did Povetkin break his nose?
Yeah, he did.
Broke his nose.
Yeah.
Broke his nose.
But here's the problem with keep bringing up Steve Cunningham. There's a huge difference here. Yes, Tyson Fury got dropped, but he got back up and knocked Steve Cunningham the hell out. He sparked him. Whereas AJ did not have that outcome. AJ did not come back from the schooling that was being taught. He continued to get schooled, and even though he did not get dropped in the 12th round, after the bell rang, he couldn't get off his fucking stool to stand up to
because he was knackered.
Yeah,
he's not Iron Man. He was knackered.
Hold on, Tony Reviews.
He was knackered. He was knackered. So is he not allowed to be knackered? Is he not allowed to be knackered? Did he not still finish the fight? Did he still not finish the fight on his feet? Yay or nay? Did he finish the fight on his feet? Did he get dropped at all? No, he didn't. He lost.
I have always
Tony Reviews. Who's the better boxer?
Listen,
Usyk.
Receipts on receipts on receipts on receipts to where I have always rated AJ highly. I have always supported AJ. I have. But
no, but you prefer Wilder, and that's not a problem.
But there is a huge. It's just like when I did my prediction and I said Usyk was going to beat him in why, and it went.
And great prediction.
Right.
Great prediction.
I don't judge this off the history because here's the thing. They are not static. They are fluid. Everything changes from fight to fight, to year to year. You have to look at their performances and how they appear today. I don't care what they did 3 years ago. What do they look like today? And
today, let me just cut you right there. Let me just cut you right there. No, let me just cut you right there because, so we're talking about fluid. No, I'm going to let you interject because this ain't one of these panels where everybody just go ahead because your mic's bad as well. Go on, Tony. You know I love you. Go on.
I don't know why my phone's breaking up so bad today.
Choppy because you're talking about Wilder. Anytime we talk about Wilder, glitches.
I have made plenty of bad videos about Wilder, but I'm just saying, off of what my eyes saw with him and Fury in the trilogy and what I've seen from AJ lately since the rematch with Ruiz, I have changed my opinion 1,000%. I believe AJ gets sparked if he fights Deontay Wilder extremely quickly. I don't think AJ goes past 4 rounds with him. And I'm saying that, and I've always supported AJ, but I'm just
not a problem.
What I see from AJ today.
But using your same rule, you're talking about we judge fighters of today. So how did Deontay Wilder end the fight? With an oxygen mask.
He got knocked out. He got knocked out.
With an oxygen mask over his face.
Yeah,
that's the last recollection that I've got of him.
He got knocked out by the best boxer in boxing.
Quite frankly, I thought it should have been stopped sooner.
He lost to the best boxer in boxing.
It should have got stopped sooner.
Yeah.
Should have got stopped sooner.
Wilder lost to the #1 guy in boxing. He didn't lose to a fat guy.
And AJ got outboxed.
He didn't lose to a fat guy who was Burger King's #1 customer.
AJ got outboxed by arguably what number 1 or number 2 on the pound for pound list. Arguably. So what's the shame in that? He didn't get knocked out, but the last recollection wasn't a good performance, but it was better than being asleep with your pillow in your duvet in the ring.
Come on, LadyChann, AJ. I love AJ. AJ got beaten up. I was at the fight. He got battered.
Difference.
He didn't get battered, Tony.
Did
you see Usyk's face?
Did you see Usyk? He got schooled. He got schooled.
He got slapped around the ring.
You see Usyk's face?
He was ready to go.
It's apples and
oranges. Face?
Or I should say, what you're trying to compare is silk to steel wool. That's what you're trying to do. Silk to steel wool. Silk is Tyson Fury. Steel wool is Andy Ruiz. Steel wool at the heavyweight division of the elites is probably a Usyk. Let's see Usyk in there with Tyson Fury, how it turns out.
I say Usyk beats Fury, by the way.
Usyk gonna get fucked up against Fury. I promise.
You're going to have to catch Usyk to be able to.
He's
You think
Usyk is a hamster. Usyk is a hamster. Usyk is a hamster. He is always on the move.
Easily. Usyk is slowed down so much today. He is so much slower than he
Did you
used.
see how slow Tyson Fury was in this last fight?
Different approach. I'm telling you.
Tyson Fury
As
slow.
I predict these with damn near
that was
accuracy, I'm telling you, as I predict.
Tony, can I ask you a sensible question?
Good luck to your accuracy, because Usyk beats Fury, in my opinion.
Tony, can I ask you a question? How does performing worse against a fighter that you've already beaten last year, who's coming off a loss, make you the best fighter in boxing?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So in the previous fight, you knocked him out in 7.
Let's look at
guys coming off a loss.
Don't let me talk about resume. Don't let me talk about resume round here. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
We have already seen, we already had a glimpse of Tyson Fury's greatness whenever he made Klitschko look like a sparring partner. When he made Klitschko look confused as hell.
In 2015.
It doesn't matter.
2015. In 2015. Yep, in 2015.
And and then 2 years
2015. In between that, 2015 to 2021.
Right.
Nobody.
Right. But then
he fought nobodies.
2 years later, we watched AJ fight a defeated, out of the ring for 2 years, Klitschko go life or death with him. Life or death with Klitschko that Tyson Fury easily beat. Now, moving past that.
Let me put that into context. Let me put that into context.
Your question if you interject every time I say something. So let me finish.
Because you know I'm the queen of that interjection shit.
No, I'm trying.
Are you used to it yet, Tony?
I'm trying that's the rules. Because I've never been pro Wilder. I have never really been pro Wilder.
Yeah, you have.
But how I
and there's nothing wrong with it, but you have.
How I see it right now is AJ loses the Wilder. I promise you. I promise you he loses.
Well, the thing that you've just said there is you've just described Vladimir Klitschko has been out of the ring for 2 years and
he was
and coming off a defeat.
He did.
Isn't that just what Wilder was? Isn't that just what Wilder was? Isn't that just what Wilder was when Tyson Fury fought him?
Yeah.
And he got dropped by him, and it took him longer to get him out of there.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he's
performed worse.
Here's the big problem with what you just said. On Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua was active. He wasn't out of the ring for 2 years when he fought Klitschko.
Let's deal with how come Tyson Fury.
Deontay Wilder was also out of the ring for 20 months.
Moving the goalpost.
That both of them had fought for 20 months. It's not like Wilder fighting tune-ups here and there.
You're moving the goalposts, mate.
I'm not moving the goalposts.
Tyson Fury did the worst performance in number 3, 2 year 20-month layoff, and did a worse performance. AJ beat someone that was 17 months layoff. If we have to deal with the school of accuracy, it was 17 months. Got floored and then got the win. Tyson Fury done a worse. His performance was worse than part 2.
I agree.
Go on.
Yes.
Go on. So we keep the same energy. Yeah.
So what my question to you is, why does that make him the best fighter in the world?
Why is he the best, Tony? Why is he the best?
Why is Tyson Fury the best?
Yeah, tell me. Who's he fought? Give me a nice fat resume of champs and top 10 or at least top 15. I'll even put some leeway in there. Go ahead. And also that he was 5 years pro before AJ. But AJ come and tidied up all the mess.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead. So let me hear about this amazing resume, why he's the best.
So I don't have to give an amazing resume.
No, you don't have to, but I'm asking you to, because I'm asking for your definition of why he's the best.
I could say that not only did he beat Chisora once, but he stopped him when Chisora was much
Derek Chisora, are you having a laugh?
Wait. A much better. Are you having a laugh? Who just got robbed in a Joseph Parker fight with Chisora.
I don't care. That didn't happen then. That wasn't in the cards then. When he fought Derek Chisora, yes, he was undefeated. Derek Chisora has never even been fringe world level. He's a high-paid journeyman. Let's have it right. Journeyman that gets PPV. So we're scrapping that one, Tony, because I want you to keep some credibility. Let's move on. Because Chisora is nobody to even mention.
But
Next
Chisora
person.
beat Parker. But Chisora just beat Parker.
When? Now or when he faced
Hold,
Tyson
hold,
Fury?
hold on a
Now.
minute. If you
And
go
he's
back
older.
to the record
Is
book,
Derek Chisora of
Joseph
older
Stock?
Parker
and
won
not
the
as good.
fight. Joseph Parker won the fight.
Joseph Parker still won the fight.
Joseph Parker won the fight. What are you talking about?
Parker,
He beat
Parker
Joseph
won by
Parker.
robbery.
He lost to Joseph
Joseph
Parker.
Parker still technically, whether
Parker
we think it's
lost
robbery or not,
that
he won the
fight.
fight.
Parker
So-
lost
Derek Ward
that.
You better go and tell Boxrec that he lost.
Derek
then.
Ward
Don't care
Chisora
what
is
Boxrec
not
says.
a
I
champ.
don't have
It's
to
not
look up
someone to
Boxrec.
rave about
I
on
saw
your
the fight. I know who should have won.
Tony.
It's irrelevant.
Tony, next guy.
Tony, that's your opinion.
Yeah, it is, John. I'm moving it along. Tony, who's the next guy that's sick on Tyson Fury's resume? Go ahead.
He stopped 2 long-reigning champions, and Klitschko and Wilder. Where you rate Wilder is irrelevant because the fact of the matter remains he stopped one guy who had held the title for damn near 10 years, and he stopped another guy.
So that makes him the best that makes him the best, does it? That makes him the best that he's fought 2 guys within 7 years. He's fought 2 guys within 7 years. One of them that he fought 3 times and won once. And when it comes to the rematch, because he knew that he's going to get done, he knew that he had to run.
Can I just cut in? These are not just ordinary fighters. Deontay Wilder, whether you like it or not, was the heavyweight champion for 5 years. And Klitschko's are great. He beat
but you've got to look at
fighters.
People look at the too much of surface level. They're not looking at the depth. They had us to believe that Luis Ortiz was the boogeyman of the fucking heavyweight division. Go and look at his resume. You cover your eyes because you're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked. People build up people to make their fighter look like their fighter's sick. At the base level, Tyson Fury has fought no one of stock other than Klitschko.
And Wilder.
Wilder is not anyone of stock. If you go into his resume, he's not anybody of stock. For 5 years, 10 title defenses. Ra. We all know the script. It's not nobody that he fought. Who was the best people that Wilder fought then, Ken?
What?
Who was the best people that Wilder fought then?
Arthur Spilker, Eric Molina, Washington,
Molina,
Ariola.
Gerald Washington
by the way,
Gerald Washington was the best guy on his resume.
Excuse me, could I add something? By the way, in the Washington and Spilker fights, he was getting outboxed before he landed a lucky punch.
He's always getting outboxed. This is the whole point.
This is the bit that people ignore. Spilker got knocked out by Bryant Jennings. Bryant Jennings knocked out Spilker before he got a world title fight.
You look at the people that they've fought. You don't look at surface level. You go a bit past that, and then you can come with an informed opinion. When people talk about Wilder's resume, he's fought no one. When you talk about Fury's resume, we can't cling on to this Klitschko thing forever. That's like Teofimo Lopez hanging on to this Lomachenko thing.
Whoa. The Teofimo, he beat Lomachenko. Don't try to take my man's credit away.
We know. I love Teofimo. But at the end of the day, if it's going to be 7 years later, in between that, he's fought nobody. We can't just go, but he fought Loma 7 years ago. So he's still the best. No, we can't.
1 year ago.
Here's the problem with
it. Yes, I know, Tone. I know. By the way, this is Broadway Joel.
Broadway Joel, just letting y'all know.
Here's the biggest problem when it comes to
argue that.
We'll go into Teofimo in a bit, Broadway Joel.
Here's the biggest problem with Fury. Here's the part that you're leaving out about Fury. Fury's had 5 years out of his prime years where he hasn't fought. 5 years.
Exactly. So how is he the best?
Because when he's fighting, he's winning.
Hold on a minute, Tony. Why did he lose 2 of those years?
Because he was of COVID.
He was sick.
Stripped and he vacated.
Went to the trilogy fight with Wilder.
No. Let's have it right. The man served a 2-year ban for taking a banned substance called nandrolone.
Okay. No,
you could argue that the Klitschko fight should actually be a no contest because he shouldn't have been in the ring. He tested positive against Christian Hamer. Those are the facts. And he accepted the ban handed down to him. He accepted the UCAD ban. He accepted the UCAD ban,
So he admitted that he took the nandrolone and accepted a 2-year ban.
Well, we've forgotten about that, ain't we? Because he's the
So
best.
here's the problem with what you're saying. When he accepted the ban, it was already after the 2 years was over because he was already inactive. It's not like they banned him and that's why he was inactive.
But that's
he was already inactive,
isn't it? Because
and
the
then,
case started 2 years prior.
On top of it, what you're leaving out is he beat the case because of that farmer saying it came from an uncastrated board. He actually won. He did
I'll
win the
send
case.
you a link, Tony. If you think he beat that case, I'll send you the link.
He didn't beat the case.
He did not beat that case.
Tony, where did you go? Because that better be your Wi-Fi. Hang on, Bang Mateo, thank you. Gracias, muy apreciada. I think Wilder is now like Juana Lopez. Oh, there's Tony. Juana Lopez. Once his chin got cracked, he was broken mentally and physically.
Mate, LadyChann, can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
And this guy said one on the panel. All right, who does Tyson Fury have to beat for him to be allowed to be criticised as number one?
A few people in the top 10. A few people in the top 15. A few people in the top 15.
If he beats Usyk, is he allowed to be Chris number one? If he beats
John makes a good point. Let him fight White.
Let him fight his Mando. Let him
use
Usyk.
If he fights Usyk.
Can I ask LadyChann a question? Where did you have after Joshua lost? Where did you have Wilder ranked when going into the Tyson Fury fight?
I had Wilder at number 3.
Okay, so you telling me Tyson Fury knocked out the number 3 heavyweight 2 times in a row, and you trying to argue with me he's not the best heavyweight in all of boxing?
He was number 3, but he's number 3. Not if we have to really deep dive into it. Out of resumes, Dillian White's above Wilder.
No.
But
I asked you. The question I asked you was
number 3.
Where did you have him ranked?
Number 3. So he beat number 3.
And Tyson Fury knocked out the number 3 fighter 2 times in a row. You can't discount that.
Number 3. It's the best out of a bad bunch.
LadyChann.
The best out of a bad bunch.
LadyChann, why did you have?
Sorry,
LadyChann, why did you have Wilder as number 3 coming off a loss?
Not now. Coming off. Yeah, well, maybe.
No. Before that, because he said he asked the question, where did you have him ranked before the 3rd fight? Wilder wasn't number 3 before that 3rd fight.
No, not number 3 before the 3rd fight. No, I didn't have a number 3 then.
He can't be.
I had him probably at number 4 or 5 personally.
Okay, so he knocked out the number 3 fighter and then came back and knocked down the number 4 fighter. Come on, you gotta give the guy credit.
Okay,
so we need. He's the lineal champion.
We don't give credit for throwing out the trash. Why? We do it daily.
He's a top heavyweight.
You throw out your rubbish daily.
Can I just say
this? No one gives me credit for throwing out my rubbish. No one gives me credit for throwing out my rubbish. We do it every day, babe.
Can I just say this?
Okay, so who's the best heavyweight then?
Everybody here. My question to everybody here is: Does anybody believe? I don't know if my mic's working or not. I think I'm lagging real bad. Okay. Does anybody honestly believe Andrew Ruiz stands a chance against Tyson Fury?
It doesn't matter. He still needs to fight him.
No, but what
it doesn't matter.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
His fighters, you still need to fight.
Why are we always We're giving reasons why people shouldn't fight each other.
Yeah.
When did Ali not fight people? When did Mike Tyson not clear out the division? Like the actual greats, like Muhammad Ali cleaned out the heavyweight division twice. That's why he's an all-time great. Mike Tyson cleaned out the division once. Lennox Lewis cleaned out the division. Joe Louis cleaned out the division. Yeah. These are great fighters.
Exactly.
Tyson Fury's beat 2 people.
That's it.
Okay. He needs to at least beat Dillian White and Usyk.
Okay.
Beat Dillian White. Beat Dillian White. Don't come to me with no Jarek Chisora that everyone's had a go at. Like, and he loses. That's rubbish. Why don't you do a Joseph Parker? Whether or not you think he can mop the floor with him, let's see these fights. You lot are doing some. It don't matter.
LadyChann.
AJ took that approach and said, "I don't need to fight Joseph Parker. I don't need to fight Dillian White." Where would we have known how good AJ was? How? You're being biased, fam. You're being biased.
Yeah, but
bullshit.
You've got to.
Well, how good is Wilder? Wilder's fought nobody.
John,
got no measure as to how.
You've got to remember that Wilder didn't fight AJ when he could have fought AJ. Fury didn't fight AJ when he could have fought AJ. These fighters could have fought AJ. So you can't just say, oh, Fury beat him when he was undefeated. He may not have been undefeated if he had took the AJ fight.
Or the Dillian White fight.
Millions.
They both
or the Dillian White fight.
As well.
These are fight. This is the same. This is the same thing. This is the same thing. What's going on in the lightweight division with Devin Haney at the moment? People are saying Devin Haney ain't fighting nobody, but nobody is wanting to fight him. These guys who were saying he ain't fought nobody ain't. 1 second. These 1 second. These guys ain't fighting him. Loma didn't fight him. Tio didn't fight him. Rome didn't fight him.
Ryan doesn't want to fight him.
1 second. 1 second. These are all the fighters that say he ain't fought nobody. Yeah, I know you can't for Theo. Just let me finish.
Go ahead, ERS.
This is the same thing what's happened. AJ hasn't fought Wilder. Wilder's undefeated because he didn't fight anybody. He had the opportunity to fight these people. He didn't fight them. So you can't just blow up. Yeah, Tyson Fury, the first win against Wilder, he gets all the credit in the world. Not a problem. But you don't get double credit for beating him a second time, taking longer to beat him in the second. Taking longer to beat him, and now you become number 4 in the pound for pound for beating a guy you already beat.
Can we do something?
Come on.
Everybody on their panel give their top 4 in order heavyweights. We'll start with LadyChann. Give me your top 4.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to do with technically, obviously, Tyson Fury is number 1, undefeated, resume or not, right? We're going to go for that. Tyson Fury, number 1. Alexander Usyk, number 2. Anthony Joshua, number 3. Dillian White, number 4. Joe Joyce, number 5.
Come on.
Andy Ruiz, number 5.
Come
on. Joe Joyce, Wilder, number 6. Joe Joyce, number 7. That's as far as I can go. I think that's fair. Would you like? You don't need me to repeat it. You asked me my opinion. That's it. It's not here to be. It's not here to be challenged. Let's hear Broadway. Not you, Kenny, because you know you're my favorite person. So I find it hard to bang on you. I look at you and I'm like, no, that's my Ken. Anything you say, I'm with it, but I'm not with it a bit in this one. Yeah, but that's my opinion. And all right, Ken, what's your top? Give me your top 7.
Oh, top 7. Right. Number 1, Tyson Fury. Number 2, Deontay Wilder. Number 3, Usyk. Number 4, Anthony Joshua. Number 5, Dillian White. Number 6, Joe Joyce. And number 7, I'm going to go for...
Andy Ruiz?
I'm going to go for Daniel Dubois.
Daniel Dubois. Hang on, can I just say something? We're not to challenge anyone's opinion, but has anyone put in the fact that Deontay Wilder had 1 belt for 5 years and Anthony Joshua was 2-time unified heavyweight champion, but he's below Wilder?
You said you're not challenging anyone for that position.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking how. I'm not challenging it, but is that ever thought of? Because I heard Frank Warren's one as well, and it was pretty similar. That's the only reason why I've placed Joshua. If I was biased, I would have went Joshua number 2. No, it's Usyk. Who's did more? Joshua's been 2-time heavyweight, so Wilder technically should be below him, right? Technically, he should be.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I'll go with mine. I'll go.
Yeah,
with
you
mine.
go, ERF.
Fury number 1.
Yeah.
Fury number 1, Usyk number 2, Joshua 3, White 4, Wilder 5, Ruiz 6, and Joe Joyce 7.
Similar, I think. If that was not exactly the same, yeah.
For me, I can't put.
Oh, you didn't put Andy
Wilder
Ruiz,
at number 2 or 3 simply because he's coming off 2 knockout losses. 2 knockout losses. You've got to put that into consideration.
And held 1 belt.
You cannot be number 2 coming off of 2 knockout losses.
Yeah.
I can't put Joe Joyce in. I can't put Joe Joyce in front of him because Joe Joyce hasn't accomplished.
He hasn't
near
done
enough
enough.
anything what Deontay Wilder has accomplished.
I get it. BWJ, mi hermano.
Number 1, bro. Excuse me, I was about to say myself, which I am number 1, but that's
narcissist in the house. Anybody?
Nah. Tyson Fury number 1. Number 2, Alexander Usyk. Number 3, Anthony Joshua. Number 4, Deontay Wilder. Number 5, Frank Sanchez. Number 6, Dillian White. Number 7, Joe Joyce.
Okay. Victor Box. What up?
Fury number 1, Usyk 2, AJ 3, Dillian White 4, Wilder 5, Ruiz 6, Joyce 7.
You're a don.
Yeah,
it seems like the UK's got a bit of sense. Let's go with another UK compadre.
Well, I thought we wasn't commenting on people's lists, man.
No. I wasn't. I was just giving a round of applause. I didn't say I can't congratulate people's list. I congratulated. Didn't desecrate it. John Dealey, don't let us down. Our Brummy brother.
Tyson Fury, Usyk, Dillian, AJ.
Dillian. Whoa.
Yeah, because he's coming off a win.
Yeah, but before the fight before he got knocked out.
So you put Wilder up there. He's got 2 knockouts.
Yeah, but look who he's going.
After 2 knockouts.
So you put White above a 2-time heavyweight champ.
Fury.
You put White above a 2-time heavyweight champ.
It's only on current form. If he beats Usyk, where do we put Joshua then? I'm putting AJ after Dillian.
If Joshua beats,
I can't argue with
resume or current form because
in all honesty, I can't argue with
it's not
Josh.
that bad. It's maybe because you're in Birmingham, you went a bit out of London, so you bit out. You go on.
I can't argue. I can't argue with Johns though because he is right. Dillian is coming off of a win. Joshua's coming off of a loss. Also, my view on that is the loss what AJ is coming off compared to Dillian's win, different levels. AJ's already knocked out the guy what Dillian's just
got
been
knocked out by. Yeah, so context is everything.
So for me, that's where the context
to put somebody in at number 3 on the back of a loss.
Okay,
I agree with that.
He's coming in at number 4.
It's not that bad. Let's get AJ's one. Did we get yours, Ken?
AJ's number 4.
Yeah.
You got mine,
yeah.
Hold on.
Sorry, John. Go ahead. AJ's number 4.
AJ 4.
Yeah.
Wilder 5.
Yeah.
Joe Joyce, Andy Ruiz.
Got ya. AJ in the middle. What have you got?
I just got a top 5 currently. Haven't flushed out 6, 7 or whatever.
Okay.
So all right.
Yeah.
So this list differs from everybody else's. I got Usyk number 1.
Oh.
Tyson Fury 2. AJ 3. Dillian White 4. Wilder 5.
Got you. Why is Usyk above Tyson Fury? I can kind of get it, but because he's come from a different weight class?
Because of what he accomplished at cruiserweight, he was undisputed, and also now he's a current unified heavyweight champion. While Tyson Fury isn't.
Got you.
He was a gold medalist.
And that too. So
I could understand that. See, so it doesn't sound like. It sounds like we're still all pretty on the same page, though. So when I'm telling you, even though Tyson Fury ain't fought nobody, if we're just doing it off of because of the little what he's done, because he's still got his own, that's the reason why I put him at number 1. But my list could totally change if I went from resume. It would be a totally different. It would be a totally.
You know what it's called for. You know what it's called for.
Resume list, mine changes as well. That's just
for me. If Usyk beats AJ again, Usyk goes to number 1.
Yeah, does AJ drop down? Does AJ drop
AJ
down?
drops down. Yeah, he drops down.
After that loss, he drops down technically.
He drops down. He has to do.
What if he becomes a 3-time heavyweight champion? Where does he go?
He goes to 2. Really,
he goes to 2. He goes to 2.
Really, he's supposed to go to 1, but it's 2 because he's got 2 losses.
He goes to 2.
But he'll go to 2.
If Tyson Fury ducks his mandatory, he drops for me as well. There's no excuse for that.
Me too.
Me too. For me,
John, do you think he will?
Yeah, I'm a bit suspicious he might do.
If he listens to his dad, he will.
Dillian's got to fight Otto Wallin. That's not an easy fight. So let's see what happens there first.
Yeah,
he's got to win that fight.
I
mean, like he's got to win that fight because if he does, that's going to dictate what happens. Let's go
on to. Did we get Tony's list? Did Tony give us his list?
Did he? I think he did.
Tony's dropped out.
Yeah, no, it's his internet. It's messing up. He'll be back.
Oh,
so let's go. When he comes back, we'll get the list, but we'll move on because we've got about 15 minutes left of the show. Ken even dropped. There you are, Ken. There you are, Ken.
Sorry about that.
We missed ya. Drop the link. Oh, Tony said drop the link. Okay. Let me drop the link and let Tony say his bit, his top 5 or 7, and then we can move on to Dillian White and Wallin.
Can I just say something before we do that?
Yeah, you can say a lot, babe.
You know what? You know, you look at the like the cruiserweights, and you look at the super middleweights, and we'll like the biggest elephant in the room, because we're all talking about resumes, and we're all undivided about who's the best and who should be considered the best. I don't understand why politics and boxing has to really interfere, which is really the obvious thing we need to do. Why don't we have a heavyweight super series? It's screaming out for it. There's some wicked fights.
I'd love to have that. No one's got enough money.
Yeah, we should have a World Super Series in the States.
No one's got enough money.
But who's funding it? Who's funding that?
Exactly. Nobody got enough money to do that.
Yeah.
Heavyweight demands so much money.
In it, cash cow, then it's not really fair. Like they all need command some big money. It's just a mad thing. Like
it's a shame because it's the only way we can settle this, really. Like we settle it with the cruiserweights, the middleweights.
Winning it. What was Breedis' purse for winning the Super Series? Was it like 4 million or something?
I don't know. Was it about 4 million?
Yeah, but I think we're not talking about prize money. We're talking about settling this argument. Because
you're right, Kenny, but Eric's right as well. That's why it hasn't happened.
All right, Tony, let's get your top 5 or 7 or whatever you've got.
My sound better. Is it still lagging?
No, it's not that bad. No,
you're good.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you. Decent.
All right, cool. My top heavyweights would have to be, and it gets a little trickier on 3 and 4, and I'm gonna explain why. So I got number 1 Tyson Fury, Usyk number 2. Now number 3 and number 4 is very hard for me. I have Anthony Joshua number 3 with Deontay Wilder right behind him, and the reason why this is hard for me is I look at this. Both of them have 2 losses. However, one of them has 1 loss. I mean, 2 of his losses to one person, where the other guy has lost to 2 different people. But if it was just based off of that, I would have Wilder above AJ. However, because AJ has had more titles, done more in boxing, fought more mandatories, I have to give AJ the number 3 spot. Then I would have Deontay Wilder right behind him. Behind Deontay Wilder, I would have Dillian White. Behind Dillian White, I would have probably Joe Joyce. I think Joe Joyce would be a good pick because I would like to see a rematch in between him and Usyk. Then my 7th one is I'm going to go way off the deep end with this one, somebody that I believe has potential, not based off resume, but I think Hrgovic gives them all a hard fight. So I'm going to put him in my number 7.
Okay.
Troy? I'm very low on Hrgovic. I don't see what people see in him. He's going to get knocked out as soon as he steps up.
Yeah, I don't think he's like elite or nothing, but he gives people problems. But I think the ship sailed on Hrgovic a bit, but he does give people problems.
Why do I fight him?
Yeah, because he'll give him problems. That's why he ducked him. Exactly. I asked him that and he gave me some long story. I did ask Michael Hunter that and he gave me another story. So I just was like, all right, cool. Troy Graham, top 5 or 7 heavyweights. Just give us the breakdown.
Bless up in respect. Okay. Usyk, Joshua, Fury, White, and I'll put Wilder 5th.
Got you.
You got Joshua over Fury?
I would have Joshua over Fury because he's done his mandatories and he's fought tougher level of
you didn't put Joshua
level
over
of
Fury,
opponent.
You
had
Fury number 1.
But I had Fury
Joshua number 1.
I can still get why people, because everyone's gauging it on different criteria. But if you're going to gauge it on stats, though, Troy, really, Tyson Fury is number one, or Usyk now's in the runnings that I'm not going to be mad at someone putting Usyk number one. Undisputed is still undefeated, you know, and coming from, he's pound for pound. So I can get that. But as much as I like Anthony Joshua, I couldn't put him above Tyson Fury because he's got 2 losses, even if he just had the 1 loss. But Wilder also has a draw on his record, which Anthony Joshua doesn't have that blip on there either. So he's a bit more tainted just by a 0.5.
Joshua's also avenged a loss as well.
He's avenged it where Deontay Wilder never has. Yeah, so
you also got
and he had 2 goes. He had 3 goes in total just to fight the same guy.
By the way, I mean the draw's still not a win.
No, it's not. It's a glitch on your record. It's a draw. It's a glitch. It's not.
It's really a loss. It's not a loss. It's really a loss.
No, it's not a loss either,
but it's not a win either.
It's not a loss. It's not a loss. It's not a win. It's not a thingy. It's just like.
We all know it was a loss. Like Tony said, he knows Joseph Parker.
We do. But
Tony said he knows Joseph Parker beat. Joseph Parker got beat.
Hey,
I know that was.
The same thing could be said about Tyson Fury and John McDermott when he fought him the first time. Remember that?
Yeah.
Can I get bold? Hi, bold. What's your top 5 or 7? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's going on?
What's that?
My number 1 is Usyk, because I'm just looking at what he did overall and 2 different weight classes. You know, I like his skill set. Number 2, I got Fury. Fury was the original. Wasn't he like, I don't know, was he undisputed? Yeah. No, he wasn't. He was a unified. I'm sorry.
Heavyweight champion.
No, he was unified. My bad. But I got AJ number 3. I got White number 4, just because, to be honest with you, Deontay Wilder never fought Dillian White when Dillian White was his mandatory. Number 5 was a toss-up between Wilder and Joe Joyce. Number 6, I got Ruiz, and I don't know who I got for number 7 right now, but
that's pretty much it on my list.
Yo, Frank Sanchez not getting no love from you guys. What's up? You guys was
Frank Sanchez was a prospect too, right?
He's a prospect.
Frank Sanchez up there,
like 27
against FA Jumper. He's gonna have to do a bit more than that.
Yeah,
so far FA is the best one on his resume.
And he's starting the place out horribly.
And he's Deontay Wilder 2.0 FA Jumper, so we're not going to give you
Who's FA Jumper ever beaten to give Frank Sanchez?
This is what I'm saying to people. So now
he'll be White. He'll be White.
Who?
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. I think so. That movement is crazy, man.
I mean, he has
struggled to get a decision fighting like that against Dillian in the UK.
I will say this, man.
Dylan is going to take the fight to that man. Dylan will take the fight to Sanchez.
he has a promising future. Frank Sanchez has a promising future, but he's still a prospect.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the
skills, but I don't want to really watch him fight particularly. It's not going to.
I'm the same, John. I'm the same.
Well, no, I mean, you know what? I hope he fights Dillian White, because Dylan will force him to fight.
Well, Dillian will take it to his buddy, and we'll see if his movement holds up after 12 rounds.
Exactly.
Chinka hold up with them counters, man.
Anyway, guys, let's move on to the last bit. So let me hear your views on White. Seeing that we were talking about White and Wallin. Is this a dangerous fight? Where can you see the danger? What odds do you give White to win? What odds do you give Wallin to win, and how? Let's start with John Dealey.
Okay, I've got Dillian a favourite, primarily because I don't think Otto's got enough power to keep him honest, and I think Dillian will just take the fight to him. But you can't overlook Otto. He's a good fighter. He's technically sound. He's a difficult, tricky southpaw, and he could win the fight. So I'd have Dillian like a 60-40 favourite, because we saw against Brazil, Otto's power is lacking. The man isn't going to hit Dillian enough to deter hard enough to deter Dillian coming forward. And when Dillian gets inside on him, he's going to bang that body a lot. So that's why I'm Dillian favourite. But I think it's a horrible banana skin and it could go wrong for him.
Okay. Someone said, ask Kenny, Chan. Wilder is number 2 because Kenny said. I think they're saying, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's what I think he means. Like, ask him, Chan. Yeah, Kenny said Wilder's number 2. You did, didn't you, Ken? Yeah, okay. Cool.
That.
Yeah. He said Wilder's number 2. Cool. All right, let's go to fit to boxing. You ain't said much. Sorry, I know we're all like, rah, 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 rah. Welcome to my world.
I think Dillian White 80% to 20. I think a potential banana skin, but I think White is a class above him.
Yeah. And do you think the southpaw is gonna be hard for Dillian? Well, you know what, fighting a southpaw, you know his left hook is going to be perfect. It's going to be a perfect shot to fight a southpaw and get him out of there.
Southpaws do cause problems, but I do think that White will take him. I don't think he's a southpaw like Usyk's a southpaw.
Or is it the right hook is better for southpaw? Hang on, I'm thinking the leader. Okay,
right, so straight right.
Yes, it's a straight. So the straight right for a southpaw is tricky, and for an orthodox from a southpaw is the straight left down the pipe is going to be a mad one for him. But could you not do that? You know, the Canelo and the Usyk. I seen Canelo do it, Usyk do it, and Mayweather do it, where they set up the trap. It doesn't matter if it's southpaw or orthodox, where they pretend they're going to punch. So say Dillian White is going to pretend that he punches with say with a right kind of check hook, makes Wallin kind of defend that way, and then with the left hand come over with the left hook, because that's going to be exposed. You're going to have to set traps like that up, you know. But think punches ahead. Do you get what I mean?
I think White will just bully him. I think he's that type of fighter.
Yeah.
And I don't see that Wallin has got the power to keep him off.
Me either. I do know, but I would say my opinion after I forgot. ERG.
Yeah.
ERF, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I think Dillian will probably stop him in about 8 or 9 rounds. I don't think Dillian's going to take the cautious approach because of what happened in the first fight.
Yeah,
I think it's a seek and destroy mission for Dillian to make sure they can't deny him this opportunity for the WBC belt, because no matter what, Dillian White will be fighting for that belt, whether Fury takes the fight or not. So I think his mindset and what I'm expecting from him is the seek and destroy mission. So I think he stops him at 8 or 9 rounds.
Okie doke, brilliant.
And he thoroughly deserves it as well.
Yeah,
No doubt.
He does. BWJ, what's up? What do you think?
Vegas actually has this fight 2-1, so they see this fight as a lot closer than how you guys are predicting it. But the thing is, I don't see why they have it that close. Not because Wallin is necessarily a bad fighter, but I don't know if you guys notice, he tends to slap sometimes with his punches. And although he's a big guy, he's 6'5", like 240, 250. So this guy is like pretty huge.
Yeah, he is.
A slap from somebody that size, is not the same as a slap from, let's say a smaller fighter.
Yeah.
But I just think White is just really like, he's somebody, like, I would rather get into a street fight with Joshua than a street fight with White. Like, I'm talking about actual street fight. Like, White looks like he really is about that life.
White really is about that life.
White is about that life.
Actually
that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. So
he's from Jamaica. Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah, he's about that
coming
life.
in there trying to slap, and this guy's trying to go. He's not even trying to fight. He's trying to kill. That's how. So I feel like White's gonna get him out of there. But I don't put it past him having trouble with the southpaw position, just because I've seen great fighters all of a sudden not fight a southpaw for a little while, and they'll get in with one and have trouble adjusting and never quite adjust and end up losing a decision. So I wouldn't discount that, especially with Wallin's size. But I think White gets the knockout.
Yeah. Okay. AJ? AJ? I don't know. Let's move on to Kenny Ken.
Yeah, I'm going 75-25 for Dillian White because I think, you know, for Wallin to get a decision in this country, he's going to have to engage with Dillian, like in a way that obviously I'm not saying that Wallin's in the same class as Usyk, but the reason why Usyk won, you know, 3 weeks ago in Tottenham Hospital Stadium is because he engaged with AJ. He didn't just box him, but he came and took the fight to AJ. Yeah. And Wallin has to take the fight to Dillian White, and that's where it's going to be a big mistake because Dillian White has improved incredibly. With every fight, he improves. And I think with Dillian White as well, he's a very vicious inside fighter as well. And he's developed a right hand as well. People talk about the left hook, but it's the right hand, but it's the body punches. And I think this is where I think Dillian White's savagery is going to enable him. Wallin's going to go down a few times. I think I'm going for a 7-round stoppage. By Dillian White, and I think that it'll be the left hook will finish him, but he'll be down a couple of times because he's going to have to engage with Dillian White, and that's a big mistake. And Dillian White's fit as a fiddle now. Yeah,
I'm like 65-35 for White. I just think I think it's going to be like a late round stoppage, probably between like 9 and 10. I think you'll see Wallin do outbox Dillian White for a little minute. Dillian White's going to probably turn it up in about the 5th round, kind of work him out because Dillian White's footwork isn't the greatest.
It's improving though.
But it is improving, and he improves after every fight as well. And he's kept in tremendous shape now. Doesn't blow up in between fights anymore. Portugal's done him the world of good. So yeah, I don't know if he's going to drop it like throughout the fight. I don't know if he's going to drop Wallin. He's a big guy. He's a bit lumpy. He's a bit slow.
If anyone goes inside fighting with Dillian White, they're in a whole heap of trouble. Heap of trouble. It's not going to be nice.
Yeah. And Wallin, for the big size he is, I know we say anyone that's 200 pounds upwards doesn't hit hard. He's not really notorious as a really hard hitter.
I can't remember his name, but he got it spot on. Who's directly below me slaps. You can't.
Point. But so I'm kind of in. That's why I think it's going to be a late round stoppage, but I don't think he's going to get dropped. I just think it's just going to be probably get him up against the ropes, and really started to finish up this device. Okay, and my computer's telling me some restart shit. But I see 65%, 35 Wallin. Yeah.
Sorry about that, LadyChann. I'm back. I'm cooking.
Go ahead. We'll take this and then we'll wrap. Yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
Okay. Let's see. How do I see it going? Potential banana skin. I agree with everybody else, but I think Dillian White will. It's just I think Dillian White's just going to be too much for him. He's probably he may need a few rounds to maybe figure Wallin out. I'm sure Wallin's going to try to box on the move, stuff like that. But I also think I agree with everybody. His punching power is lacking, so he won't, be able to throw anything that bothers Dillian. If that's the case, Dillian's just gonna have his way with him. He's gonna charge forward, steamroll him, just take it to his body and hopefully land one of his trademark lefts to put him on the floor. And also had me cracking up as I saw an interview with Dillian White talking about the fight, and he just said in his trademark accent, type of like, "Well, this guy saying he's gonna take me to school, but I never liked school anyway, so he's wasting his time trying to take me to school." So
that's White all around across the board. That is the fact.
He got this in the bag. So I'm going with White by mid and late stoppage.
Okay, coolio. Troy.
I pay attention to what he hasn't been doing. I'm sorry, what he has been doing, Dillian. He stayed fit after his last fight. He went right back to training. So he looks like he's in great shape and he's focused. And I think he's on a mission to get where he's going because it's like he's been punished for 3 years,
Right.
So I think I truly believe he's going to knock this guy out. But I also remember watching the Fury fight with Wallin. He's very hittable. He's not really a defensive guy. He's a very hittable guy. Fury was hitting him at will. He just couldn't do anything with him, right? So if he comes in like that with White, he's not going to last too long. So of course I'm going with Dillian. Of course I am.
Okay.
I think Chisora beats Wallin.
Oh, that's another bloody story, but that could work. Oh yeah, but here we go with old Del Boy, innit? We can't get away from him, can we, Ken? Every show, every episode, he gets brought up. Kenny hates him. It's a trigger word.
You know
for
what,
Kenny.
Derek Chisora, right? He's one of the guys that we're all eating the Savoy, and we're all eating with knife and forks. He's a sort of guy who'll just put his finger in and nick a chicken wing and walk out. He is a ponce of all ponces on the boxing landscape, and somehow he's become marketable. He's a clown.
Kenny, that's
Kenny, it's too late. It's too late at night for me to be laughing this much.
When Kenny's on the show, we try to not mention the trigger word.
The guy is a buffoon. He is basically. You know what? He's the sort of prat that will go on a comedy show and he'd just be the figure of fun. But for some reason, he's entertaining. The day he retires will be the greatest day for boxing.
It's running out. It's running out that entertainment now. After this Parker fight.
No, but
he'll probably beat Wallin, and he'll probably nick more money out of fighters' mouths. That guy, I'll tell you one thing, he's the sort of person, right? If you had your dinner, and he was the sort of person who would just take your dinner away from him, because that's what he's doing to fighters. The minute, every time he gets a fight,
trigger word for Kenny. Trigger word. I told you I don't mention him. Next time I'm going to say don't mention him.
It's probably why he got. It's probably why Chisora got robbed in the Parker fight.
Sorry, Ken. Bold. Can I just get lastly but not least? Can I get what do you think with the White Wallin fight?
Man, I think Wallin is a lot better than what y'all give him credit for. To be honest with you, I mean, it could be argued that he could have really stopped Fury with that when he busted Fury face up. And on top of that, let's not pretend that Dillian White don't get hit a lot as well.
Dead.
Yeah, that's his weakness. Sometimes he stands a little bit too square and he get clipped. So I think Dillian White is going to have to stop Wallin if he's going to win this fight, or at least get a couple of knockdowns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because Wallin can actually really box, So I think, I truly think it's a 50-50 fight. I don't know who to give the win to. I might slightly favor White, but it could go either way for me.
Okay.
Because of the size or because of his boxing ability?
I think he's gone.
No, I mean, I think it's boxing ability. I think, size play a role, but I just think Wallin is underrated.
Yeah, he's a better boxer than White. I would say fundamentally.
Yeah, he is.
The thing is, with Otto's
how's he underrated? How's he underrated?
He is because he's seen as like a B level fighter. He's not like seen as A or elite. But he may prove to be that.
Here's my thing. A lot of people when he fought Tyson Fury, right, and he busted Tyson Fury face up, right.
He didn't have the dog to finish the job.
People were making fun of Tyson Fury and saying, "Oh, Tyson Fury cherry picked a bum, and he almost got. He should have been. The fight should have been stopped when he was busted up like that." And then Wallin, even after the fight, he didn't really skip a beat. You know what I'm saying? He just kept doing his thing. So I think
but he should have got Fury out there. But that shows how good Fury is. He's got the heart. Like he fought with such two bad cuts, man. Wow. So I give props to Fury on that all day long.
Did you see Otto Wallin fight Brazil?
I saw bits of it. It was so boring. It was boring.
That wasn't a particularly amazing performance.
It was mad boring.
Sort of plodding performance, and that's a lot of why I don't think he's going to be able to do anything to Dillian, because I think Dillian's going to bum rush him, to be honest. He's going to want to make a statement. It could go wrong for Dillian, because he's right. Dillian gets hit, but if you don't hit Dillian hard, then you've got a problem.
Yeah.
And Otto's a slapper, so I don't.
Otto's got a. Otto would not get a decision by fending him off. He's got to engage.
Yeah, exactly. Kenny. I totally agree with Kenny's assessment.
Well, guys, we are wrapping it up. I did say 1 hour 20, 1 hour 30. I've had a lot of fun on my first day back on the job. Thank you guys for bearing with me. It's like, no, we're doing this day. No, we've cancelled. No, we're doing this day.
Welcome back, by the way. Glad you're better.
Yeah.
Can I just say something? Any Aston Villa fans in here?
No.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone? I didn't even hear you.
John Dillian.
Can you have your phone? Go on.
Go on, Johnny.
You know what?
If
you beat us this, I tell you what, all you got to do is turn up because if you play to your best your ability, you're gonna murder us this Friday.
Well, yeah, I know. I look at your reactions, Kenny, on Instagram of when you lose, and Kenny, it's not no disrespect, but I crack up, not because they've lost, because of your reaction. You're like, this is rubbish. This is just ridiculous.
Arteta out.
Kenny, I crack up at your post-match reactions when Arsenal loses. I literally go on your page on purpose just to see the reaction, and it's always like about a 5 minute slewing your team. It's
Kenny,
hilarious.
we just found a way to lose against Wolves.
It's hilarious.
I hope you win. I'm stunned how you lost against Wolves.
I hope you win just to make you more happier, Kenny, because I know it devastates.
Thanks, Lady Shannon. I remember that.
Yeah, no, I hope he does win. I want everybody to win. AJ, thank you on the panel, and you gave me a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Guys, can you just tell me where they can find you, Kenny White? Because I want them to know where they can find you. So Fit2 Box, where they can find you.
On YouTube, Boxing Equipment Review channel, Fit2Box channel.
Instagram?
Yeah, Fit2Box channel.
Yep, it's a great. I had the pleasure of having Fit2Box, and we did the debunking of when there was Glovegate, and we still got told that we was lying. But
that first video tomorrow should reach 1 million views. So that's the first 1 million view video.
Oh, sick! Congratulations,
mate.
What
I might have to
YouTube?
repost bits of our one, repost it, and show them about themselves.
Is it a YouTube video?
Yeah,
YouTube video. It was from the very first Glovegate one.
Yeah,
it's called. You said what is it called? Fit2Box.
Yeah, Fit2Box.
Yeah, I'll be looking at that. Yeah,
channel.
Fit and the number 2 box channel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I go.
Boxing Equipment Review.
Yeah, Boxing Equipment Review. He does all of that.
I'd like to do a whole show.
Ken, where can we find you? Instagram, social media, your channel.
I don't have a channel. I'm basically like a special guest on channels like these and football shows.
Yeah, we love you.
So, but on Instagram you can find me at KennyKen1972, 1972 on both Instagram and Twitter. I don't look my age, but wait for you guys to tell me I don't look my age. But
I know, no, you don't look your age, Ken. No, you don't look your age. You're the best. Thanks for coming on, Ken. It's a pleasure always having you. One of my favorite people, no lie, favorite people. Kenny Ken, he's a blast.
I wanted to jump in there if you don't mind, Lady Shannon.
Yeah, hurry up,
Troy.
Just go on.
Good. Who was the guy who can't stand Dillian White? Who is that?
There's no one. Just Troy to say where we can find you so we can sign off. I'm going. ERF.
Peace,
it boot you out. But thank you. You're always welcome, ERF.
Hey, boy, Troy about to turn up.
Yeah, Troy, go on.
No. I want him to invite him to the panel so we can do a show.
Okay, well, hit up Troy at Major Key Boxing, or Troy Graham on Instagram as well. Look, I'm doing it for you.
Hey, Troy, you gotta get me on there, Troy.
Yeah, Bold. Where can we find you? Bold and Understanding. I already know it off by heart.
Yeah, I just started back as I recovered from COVID, so I'm just
I know. I'm glad that you're well, mate.
Well done, mate.
Bold and Understanding. You can find them. Are you on Instagram, Bold?
Nah, I'm just on YouTube right now.
YouTube. All right. Well, Bold, it's always a pleasure having you. You would jump on whenever you see the link. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you. We did the watch along together with Fury and Wilder, didn't we? We had a blast, didn't we? We had popcorn and everything when I did. But so we had a blast. So you're always welcome. Thank you for coming, Bold. AJ, all day, where can we find you? I know you're a passion for boxing channels, and you always come on and support everyone, don't you? Are you on Instagram?
Just no Instagram, nothing like that. I just pop on the chats and jump on the panel from time to time.
And we love you, and you're always welcome. You're part of the Dundham Season family, no doubt. You're always here, and I appreciate you. Massive
Thank you, Lady Chan. Love you too. Appreciate it.
John Dealey, you know it's always love. Yeah, it's always love. John Dealey, I love his takes on the game. He knows the game, mate. He knows boxing.
He does.
And he can challenge and he can shut down people just with one level of talking. And it's a shutdown because of facts. Facts always negate. And I've seen him do it. John, where can we find you?
I'm like Kenny. I'm just a degenerate guest.
Instagram, though.
Yeah, but like my IG is just for messing around.
Yeah,
just
but he's on there at John Dealey.
Do a little bit of gymnastics here and there. That's all.
Yeah, he's there and he does his weights. So at John Dealey, find him if you want to follow bits of his life. But you'll see him on panels with me and also with Raphael Dawkins on Combat Radio. So big up Rafi, big up everybody that was in the chat. Guys, thank you very much. And I am going to be signing out. Hey guys, it's LadyChann.
Let's see.
Come up with Jan.
Arteta out.
Arteta out. Jan.
Dillian White will be undisputed champ. Fight.